So just under 10 years ago, somebody cheated on me, and it was literally the most heartbreaking betrayal I'd ever experienced. I'd never ever been cheated on before. I'd never experienced a heartbreak like that because I was so invested in that relationship. I was so doing everything I could to make it work. And that was part of the lesson that I'd later discover was part of the problem, is that I really was abandoning myself in an enormous way. And I did not know that even when it happened, even when I was reflecting on it afterwards, I didn't put that piece of information together with how I was feeling. I kind of just thought, well, he cheated, so of course I feel this bad. But actually, the more painful thing was that I had lost myself. And that is always the worst type of heartbreak, honestly. But in the moment, it very much felt like I just could not believe that this person that I wanted to be with, that I trusted, that I really thought would never, ever, ever do anything like that to me, really did treat me like, honestly, like he treated other people. I just thought, no, I'm different. We're different. You know, I had the whole kind of fantasy thinking of like, I'm the one who changes this person. And obviously I wasn't, because his behaviour was never about me or anybody else, you know, but it did teach me, it mirrored to me how little I was connected to myself. It mirrored to me how much I was willing to kind of do anything for this person, even if it meant losing parts of me, which is I did. I knew, looking back, that there were signs, there were things that were kind of not quite right, but because I had such a faith that he would never do that to me, he never would, I really didn't kind of pay attention to those red flags. There were things like bits of missing information, phone calls that were not answered for like a couple of days, just kind of careless behaviour with me that I kind of thought, oh, this is normal, because guess what? That had been normal for me in my life. So it kind of, I didn't have a very good model to compare it to about how it should feel to be in a safe relationship. Other things were being dismissed by me about like how if I shared how I felt, they were kind of brushed under the rug and that kind of thing. Anyway, it was literally the most heartbreaking thing that ever happened. I think the heartbreaking thing about it was that I just kind of thought, even if I wanted to give you another chance, I just couldn't. Even if I wanted to go back, like my body will absolutely say no. So all the time that I'd spent wanting that relationship to work, it just felt like it was a total waste of time, and I couldn't, usually I could find a way of kind of getting back into it feeling okay again. But in this case, I just literally, it was so brutal what he did. It was just so utterly brutal that I couldn't make sense of me going back. I couldn't understand it in any way. So what happened after that was I cried and cried and cried for months. I cried literally. I couldn't talk to anyone about it without just bursting into tears. It was painful, physically painful, for a really, really long time, for months and months. I think I remember being at work and just having to go to the bathroom and just bawling my eyes out in the bathroom. And I remember sitting on a bench at lunchtime and saying to my brother, I feel unwell. I feel actually physically heartbroken. Like my heart is broken. I don't know if I'm ever going to recover or ever going to feel okay again. It was really, really bad. And I just completely lost connections myself. A few months went by of it being that bad. And I then took a job in a different city, different schedule entirely, different people. And I found just so quickly, almost instantly, that I was in a different place. I wasn't there anymore. I wasn't heartbroken like I was. I was just getting on with my life. I was focusing in the moment. That's the thing. I was more in the moment. I was saying yes to life again. I was going out with these amazing Italian people who like kind of took me under their wing and taught me Italian and showed me how to make pasta the way the Italians do, and like really kind of got me invested in like a new life. I was doing creative things. I was teaching young kids how to write songs. I was running talent shows. I was going to the beach. I had free time and I had scheduled time, and I was just like really okay. And I remember saying to everybody, you've got no idea. You've got absolutely no idea where I was a few months ago. And I felt like no one really got it and no one really cared. But the thing was, for me, it was just such a huge change in how I'd felt a few months before. That is not to say that heartbreak all went away, okay? Because, like, you know, then I remember at Christmas time that year, I was really, really upset, and I just wanted to be back with that family again. I wanted everything to be okay. It kind of felt like the heartbreak all came back all in one day, as if it had just happened. And that's the thing with grief, is that it's not linear. It really isn't. It's kind of like you're really bad, and then things start to recover, and then, you know, you dip again, and then you go backwards to what feels like ages, months, and you feel like you'll just never get over it. And I think for me, I was doing that for a long time, and it was like 2 years before I really did think, you know what, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm fine. Like, if I saw that person again, I wouldn't be heartbroken. If I saw that person again, I'd have a conversation. And I started opening up. And that's the danger zone, guys. That's the danger where the pain goes away and you start to feel like you could get redemption, right? This is what I did. I wanted redemption. So I went back and put myself back into the fire. And that's a whole nother story. But I always say that, like, you know, don't try and get redemption, because what will happen is your wound of not feeling good enough will just bite you in the ass again. Like, your self-abandonment patterns will bite you in the ass again. Your self-worth is not with that other person. Your self-worth is not, going to be found through another person validating you, seeing you, loving you, choosing you, marrying you. It's just not. So, like, I found this the hard way. You know, I walked right back into the fire. I knew it was wrong. My whole body knew it was wrong. And of course, I got the lesson in a very big way that my self-worth was not over there. And that the more painful thing was losing myself over losing him. And it really started to become clear that I was abandoning myself. And that's where I got so many of my lessons in self-abandonment and connecting to myself, which has ultimately made me more secure as a person. So sometimes I feel like the people who come into our life, who hurt us, who absolutely sweep us with these terrible feelings of heartbreak and loss and, you know, feeling not good enough, they are absolutely there for us so that we can learn about ourselves, learn who we are, learn to respect ourselves, learn to choose to listen to the voices that we brush off because we just want to be loved, because we think our self-worth is over there. And the biggest kind of transformation happens when you realize it's not, and that you have to go into relationships already knowing that you're enough rather than trying to get it. Because honestly, it's like chasing a rainbow. Like, the rainbow always moves, the goalpost always moves. It's never enough. This is why people go, I want to be with that person. Now I want them to, now I want to move in. Now I want to have a baby. Now I want them to propose to me. Now I want a ring. Now I want a nicer ring. Now I want them to do this. Why aren't they doing that? It's never enough. And that's the thing, is like, you've got to like love yourself in order to have the relationship you want. So I hope you found this video useful. If you'd like any more information about what I do, if you'd like coaching, if you'd like some support, if you'd like to come to the living room, it's the best place to get support. Honestly, I swear, I love one-to-one coaching, and sometimes that's right for people. But group coaching, there's something really, really powerful about it, because it's not just one person seeing you and holding you. It's like being seen by a lot of people, and that's a brave thing to do. to share vulnerably with people you've never met. But those people become really close to you because you share so openly. So it's amazing. If you want any more information about that, you can find out in the link below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.